I'm going to tell you to look up at the stands at some point in this game, and you're going to start to see them empty out. We've made the decision before we've even stepped on the field all day. It's thumbs down. It's no mercy. And when this thing's over with, we're going to ask, are you not entertained? Right? Are you not entertained?
Quack, 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 quack. No!
Hell was that?
Oh, let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about.
13-0.
Ah, the Big Ten. Was it that easy? I mean, really, was it that easy? How are you doing, Spaz?
My heart's back in my chest now. Thank you, Nico Reed, for finishing up.
Yeah, no shit. Cheers to Nico Reed, because for a little bit there, it was getting dicey. I was like, okay, it's over. Oh, shit. Here we go. Game on. I mean, that's why the spread was only 3.5 points.
Yeah, I guess they were pretty on with their spread.
I mean, yeah, it was a touchdown, but still, yeah. I mean, I think I see why now, because you knew Penn State had nothing to lose, and they were playing house money, and they were like, we're going to throw everything we can at the Ducks, and they did. Absolutely did. And in defense, we can get into it later. I think Oregon had been set so much on playing Ohio State again, it caught them by surprise to then have to transition to play Penn State. So, in all fairness,
yeah,
I think there was a little transition issue going on. But let's talk to a little bit more of an expert, because you stole him from Mark rather. So let's not leave him in the backstage as we have the chatter going on here. Someone who's been in the Big Ten a lot longer than us has never come close to a title game. Adam Leverillo.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me on. I never thought I'd be on an Oregon show, but much respect to the Ducks, and I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody on and that knows college football and obviously knows the Big Ten and Penn State very well. Man, that was the worst defense I've seen all year out of this team. It was like, what in the fuck is going on here? 300 yards of offense? Fuck, you didn't even give that to Genty.
Yeah, that was. I think it was like some adjustment phase. Like they expected to play Ohio State, and then Penn State came up, and the defense did not adjust at all to playing Penn State. They had multiple times they had opportunities to stop them, and they just could not stop them. And shout out Penn State. Well, and shout out Penn State. I don't disregard Penn State. They did everything they absolutely could. Pulled out all the play calls they could against Oregon. I mean, they had nothing to lose in this game.
No.
So
they were playing with house money. And I was talking with a friend of mine who's in Ohio, but he's a huge Penn State fan. And he was like, man, he says, I've always liked Oregon. And he goes, man, you guys impressed me tonight. And I'm like, fuck. I don't know how. Our offense maybe, but our defense was trash. I said, that's the most yardage we've given up all year.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'm not even mad about the outcome of the game because, we were playing with house money. And you guys just have too much speed.
No, David, that was not the most points Penn State scored all year. That was not. No. It was one of the top 4 scores they've scored all year, but no, that was not the most they scored all year.
Oh, was it against Adam?
Yeah, I was just thinking, guys. I can't.
You know what?
I have to give my controversial opinion, but before I do that, in the interest of full disclosure, I did get my degree from USC, so I'm a USC Trojans fan. But I can still be objective. And here's what I think. When I watched Oregon tonight, I thought three things. Number one, that offense and Tez Johnson were amazing. Number two, that defense giving up 37 to Penn State, a Penn State team that only scored 6 at home in Unhappy Valley against Ohio State and 26 against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. That was not good, and that leads me to my third point. Oregon must drop from the number one spot. They are not, in my view now, after this game, the number one team in the country. Can they win the national championship? Yes. But I cannot put a 13-0 team that gives up 37 points to a Drew Aller and James Franklin-led mediocre Penn State offense in good faith. Georgia should be the number one team in the country right now. Oregon should be too. And by the way, Eugene is
3 losses.
I do love Eugene. Very beautiful. What?
With 3 losses.
They have 2.
2.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Like those 10-6 Giants in 2007 that took down the 15-0 Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Losses don't always tell the whole story.
But they weren't the greatest today neither. I mean, they were okay, but
I understand.
They don't have a quarterback now.
And I understand your point completely, and I can kind of respect it. The counterpunch is a little bit like you look at the Georgia-Texas game today. 0 offense. You can say, okay, great defense. Then Georgia had to put up 48 to beat Georgia Tech in 8 overtimes just a week ago. So Oregon's kind of similar where they're going to have these on and off games like Wisconsin game, Oregon offensively. Didn't look good. Defense carried that game. Today, the defense just did enough, and the offense carried the game. So we're seeing this year, though, where all the teams are kind of like one week will be one part of the team will be off, and the other has to carry it. The other 2/3 of it have to carry that team. I think that was what tonight was a little bit. And Penn State, like we said, had nothing to lose in this game, and they took everything formationally and threw it at Oregon, and it threw them off. It did. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I think it exposed some weaknesses in Oregon's defense. And like you said, every team has struggled this year in various contexts. Like Oregon at Wisconsin, they only beat Boise State by 3, but they've also had some amazing moments. Oregon is unquestionably one of the best teams in the country, and Oregon will contend for the national championship. When I say that I don't think they should be number one, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying they should be number 2. It's not a catastrophic decision, but when I see a defense play like that, it suggests to me that that defense is going to have problems in the semifinals and may not be or should not be the number one team in the country right now because, like I said, Penn State scores 6 points at home against Ohio State, 26 against Minnesota, and then puts 37 on Oregon. Now, let's look at the other side. That offense is the best offense in the country. I mean, they are across the board elite. Now, some people in the chat are saying, "Oh, you're crazy. You would take a 13-0 team and demote them in favor of a team that has losses?" Yeah, I would, and I'll tell you why. Because strength of schedule is very disparate in college football. It is not like the NFL. It is not like professional sports. So you just can't look at records. Because if you looked at records alone, think about the current college football rankings. You would have a 2-loss Tennessee team being behind a Boise, whatever other 1-loss teams there are that are clearly not as good. I don't have the list in front of me. Record alone does not tell the whole story when you have schedule disparity. So I'm just telling you who I see as the best team in the country. And right now I think it's Georgia. Does that mean that Oregon can't beat Georgia? No. They can, and they are, in my opinion, the second best team in the country because of the defensive issues that were exposed tonight.
I think that's completely fair. I think the only thing that's going against that type of logic, again, not being argumentative about it, because I think it's very fair. Oregon's the only undefeated team in FBS, and that does carry weight. I think we have seen the committee value wins versus losses. I'm sorry, Look at Alabama. Why do they value Alabama so much? Well, at this point, it doesn't matter. Clemson won, so I think Alabama's been bumped completely from playoff discussion because SMU made it a very close game, and that's what they needed to do.
And in the post game,
Alabama's only resume builder is they beat Georgia. Other than that, they've gotten smoked and lost to really bad teams.
Yeah, and in the post game walk-off interview, Dabo even said that SMU deserves a bid.
Well, Spaz, I have to admit to the audience, I have a Bama bias because I went to graduate school at Bama.
Oh my God, USC and Bama. Oh my God, what type of person are you?
I met a girl. She was at Bama. I went to graduate school to be close. It is what it is. But look, even with a Rutgers fan talking about football is hilarious. That's really nice, Austin. I appreciate that. So, people from New Jersey can talk too. So, what I want to say is this. Even with a Bama bias, there is no way in hell Alabama should be in the playoff. SMU proved tonight that they are legit. Clemson is the ACC champion. Arizona State is the Big 12 champion. Pursuant to the rules, they should be in. Bama lost 24-3 to Oklahoma, a 6-6 team. They lost to Vanderbilt 35-31. Okay, they lost to Tennessee, where Milroe threw 2 interceptions, not to mention the 3 against Oklahoma. They have a young and unproven defense. Give me a break. The only thing that's getting Bama in is bias and brand bias, particularly, and that's wrong and doesn't reflect good on the committee.
I don't want to get off the Oregon talk, but I think Spaz, we talked about it earlier. We were talking on the pregame. The ACC commissioner melting down on game day about how far Miami dropped after a loss was absolutely the most pitiful thing I have ever seen. That man was just like, I don't think it's right. And I'm like, who the hell? Shut up. Get this guy off camera. Like, absolutely just disgusting the way he was melting down about it. But the ACC did a favor. Good job, Clemson. I was rooting for SMU. But SMU did make a game because they got down like 14-0 within like 6 minutes of the game or something like that. And I was like, oh no. But they made it a game. So
yeah, a bad kickoff, and Clemson was able to win that game at the buzzer.
Yeah, I was like, I had it on the side screen. Of course, I was watching Oregon, and then the trophy thing, and then I was like, I gotta go take a shower real quick and wipe the ass sweat off. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to say that live. Anyways, who cares?
Well, the First Amendment gives you that right, and that leads me to a question I have for you, which is, as Oregon fans, after this game, what do you think are the specific weaknesses that need to be addressed, and what team specifically concerns you the most?
Tennessee and their run with Dylan Sampson.
Yeah. So the defensive line, I thought, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happened today. They just kept shredding us, and they were getting 5, 6, 7 yards a carry, no matter who was running the ball. And it was just, we were tackling up top. It was all mental. I've never seen this team this year tackle that way. This was Oregon defense 2020 tackling. And it was like, what is going on here?
I think it's a combination of one. The run defense has not been stellar this year. A couple of the stats were thrown off early in the year by like Genty, which we know is amazing. Boise State. But yeah, this game really showed it again too. It was like, yeah, and I think it was a mental thing too, though, because I think they thought they were playing Ohio State. So when Penn State stuck in, they kind of had to change their game plan defensively. I don't know if the offense changed a whole lot, but I don't know what it was. It was some mental thing, yeah, and they just could not get off blocks or tackle. It was pretty surprising. I mean, again, shout out Penn State for coming out and like not holding
They're on
back.
the kitchen sink. Yeah.
Yeah, they did not hold back. And shout out, Aller had some great throws in very tight windows. So I was like, damn.
That last touchdown he threw on 4th and 10 was just sick.
Oh yeah,
With Mateo hanging on his jersey, and
this isn't Washington down. This is Pitchfork. Shout out Dilly. ASU, let's go.
ASU,
let's go.
It's funny. I agree with everything you guys are saying. I just have a slightly different take. If I was worried about one thing, it would be why Oregon scored only 17 points at Camp Randall. And if
16.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Don't give us that point.
And so when that happened, I was, I'm wondering, is there a blueprint out there for a sufficiently elite defense that's going to be able to do that? And that would be my concern. And I don't know if it's a valid concern. What do you guys think?
It can be. I mean, it definitely can be. I think the counter to that is when you say there's the blueprint, is that every team plays each other differently depending on the personnel they have. So even if you have a blueprint, doesn't mean you can perform that blueprint. You might have a good idea, but can you actually execute that type of operation to do it? And I every team's built differently. I think that's the only counterpoint. I'm not gonna, and then Oregon's gonna prepare a little differently too.
So I don't know. My counter is down here. That was our 8th game in a row. We had played 8 consecutive weeks.
The Wisconsin
game. The Wisconsin game. So we were gassed, and plus you had to travel across the country, middle of nowhere, night game at a hostile environment. So you had all that going against you, and you still managed to win that game.
Well, and that's why I say there's those games like tonight. The offense carried the team. Special teams helped, obviously. Defense just did what they needed to do to hold it in check.
Shout out Nico Reed.
Where the Wisconsin game, the defense did everything they needed to do. Special teams and the offense kind of slacked. So yeah, it's kind of the balancing act. That's why they call Oregon the most well-balanced team, is because one side, 1/3 of it picks up when the other 1 or 2/3 is lacking each game. And so that's kind of what makes them they call them the most balanced team right now, because one area picks up where the other falls off in the game. And it's stressful sometimes.
Yeah, they're ironically balanced through imbalance. I like that. And you know what I'm thinking? The only team that's going to be able to stop Oregon is a team that, number one, can really get pressure on Gabriel. Number two, can play man-to-man. And 3 is going to be able to stack the box to stop the run. I don't think there's any team in the country that can do that except Georgia. And I don't even know if Georgia can do that. But like you said with the blueprint, it's going to be a tall order for any team to stop that electric offense. But conversely, if the defense is giving up 30 to 32 points to a Georgia team or a Texas team, I tend to think more Georgia, then I think it gets a little dicey. So, look, I'll compromise, guys. I'll keep Oregon at number 1 as long as you will agree to put the Bulldogs of Georgia at number 2. And as an Alabama fan, you must know I hate saying that. But hey,
I think that's completely fair.
I think that's exactly how it's going to be.
I mean, right now we have
Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, Arizona State, Notre Dame.
Boise.
Yeah, I think Georgia could easily be number 2. Then it'll be Notre Dame. I don't know how or why, but then Ohio State and then Penn State. No, not Ohio State. I'm sorry. It'll be Clemson. No, wait. Well, are you talking rankings or seeding?
I'm talking seedings. Like, I would I'll compromise and say, all right, Oregon should be the number 1 seed. I think Georgia should be the number 2 seed. I don't.
Okay. Number 2 seed. I was like, that's it. We have to differentiate between ranking and seeding, right? Because I was like, if I say ranking, people are like, "Whoa, what do you mean Notre Dame?" I'm like, no, Notre Dame's not getting a home game. They're going to be like the 6th seed or 5th seed.
Yeah, think about how crazy it is. It's crazy that Arizona State is ranked 16th, and now suddenly we'll have a bye. Makes no sense. Ward Emmanuel, I'm calling you out. You should go back to Michigan, fix the quarterback position, and then we'll talk about a committee internship if you'd like.
Right.
Because what Ward Emmanuel said yesterday, he's like, the teams that aren't playing conference championships this week will not move. Those rankings are fixed. That was the dumbest thing he could have said, because now he has to change them. So it makes me question his competence in the committees.
So what he's saying then is that we're going to get Ohio State, or it'll be Tennessee at Ohio State, regardless. They're locked into that seed. Is that basically what he said?
And that would mean that Alabama's locked into the 11th seed, which I don't see how that could possibly be justified.
Yeah, that can't be after Clemson winning today really just pushed Bama out.
And SMU doing so well justified, in my opinion, them being in.
Them being in, exactly. They would maybe at worst fall to the 12th seed. That would knock Bama out. So I know Bama fans are going, no, this guy is falling, but then shut the fuck up. Like, no one cares. Sorry.
I've already got 4 emails on my Yahoo account. I've got 4 emails already from friends of mine in Alabama.
Well, you still have a Yahoo account. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm going to delete it because they're like, you're a traitor. You're a bum. We always said you were only good in small doses for a reason. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to tell it like it is. I'm not going to use my bias to come to erroneous conclusions. So roll Tide my ass. They don't belong in the playoffs. And Milroe, you stink.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I have no bias against Bama or like Kalen DeBoer, because Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. It's his first year. They have just been so up and down. They beat the teams they should, and then excel against one maybe they shouldn't, and then they lose to the crap teams they shouldn't lose to.
Right.
So it's just kind of one of those like you can't if you start opening the door first year to go, well, this is 9-3 win team, not that bad. You're just opening the door years down the road to continue to justify it. At some point you got to shut the door. And this year you have so many other good teams that have justified themselves for a spot.
I'd put Miami in before I'd put Alabama in.
Well, I would too, because their defense sucks.
I would take Miami, and I would ship Miami via Federal Express to North Korea, and I would open the door to South Carolina. That's right, the Gamecocks belong to South Carolina. Maybe that was a little bit extreme, but you get my point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting decision. We're going to find out tomorrow. I believe it's noon Eastern, 11 Central. We're going to find out the final verdicts, but I think we do have it in line. It will be one Oregon, 2 Georgia, 3. I'm guessing it will be 3 Boise State, 4 Clemson in the seeding.
Was Clemson rated higher than Arizona State? No.
Oh no! Yeah, that's right. So so
Clemson would be the 5 seed, I believe.
Yeah,
correct?
Clemson will be 5 or 6 then. Yeah. So actually, I'm sorry, I forgot. It will be Boise State 3, Arizona State 4.
Think about this. It could be then, in theory, Clemson and SMU in a rematch next Saturday. Yeah.
They're not. The committee's not going to do that. This is where Adam comes into play here. Spaz, you shut the fuck up, old man. Adam is correct here. This is where the committee is going to tweak things to not have rematches. They're not going to have like a SEC or Big Ten rematch immediately. They're going to tweak, well, this head-to-head looked better, or this point differential, and they're not going to have to explain why.
So you're going to put SMU at 11. Who you put in 12?
I'm just saying they're going to tweak it so they don't have rematches week 1.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. They're going to try to eliminate that scenario because that's not great for TV. I think everyone here would agree. We've seen in the Pac-12 before where you had like I believe it was like Stanford, UCLA, and then the next week they play in the title game again.
Yeah.
Not great ratings, probably, Not great ratings. Like, we've had that before, and you don't want that in the playoffs.
So who would you bump to 12 then is my...
Well, we're about to find out in like 12 hours.
Well, doesn't SMU or Clemson, I would think. I think Miami and Alabama are out.
If Miami's out 5, though, because of their conference title.
Oh, okay. My bad. Yep, you're right.
You got to flip 11, 12, but I'm not sure who 11 or 12 is.
Miami's out, though.
Indiana, maybe? You put Indiana 12 and SMU 11. So
Indiana's going to be like 8 or 9. Indiana's in. They don't have to worry about this. Now you're talking Alabama, Miami, South Carolina. Those are your who's in, who's out type players.
No,
SMU should be a lock for like number 10 or 11.
Totally agree.
So who would go 12?
It's a toughie.
I don't know, and I think this highlights the problem with both the people on the playoff committee and the way that it's structured, such that these teams are getting buys simply because they win a conference championship. Now, does Oregon deserve a bye? Of course. But does Boise State deserve a bye? Not in my view. Does Arizona State deserve a bye? Not in my view. And one of these, one of the things I've noticed on the committee is that the majority of the members are academics and academic administrators. I happen to work in academia, and I can tell you that these people generally, I'm not saying everybody, have no connection or understanding of the real world and what really is going on the ground. They operate from an ivory tower, and what we need is former elite college players. Okay, we need people who actually know college football and who can identify the best teams. We should do away with buys completely. We should eliminate the rule that a conference champion has an automatic bid, and we should say, here are the 12 fucking best teams, and this is it. Okay? Because otherwise we're getting into all this, like we're weaving this tangled web of chaos that is born from the, in my opinion, the incompetence and inefficiency of the people who comprise the playoff committee.
Yeah, but if you only do 12, then it doesn't play out right, because then it's 6 games. Well, I guess it would.
Well, you know what my solution would be, quite frankly, would be to scrap the whole thing and to have a 4-team playoff, but a plan for the 4th spot between 4 and 5. Because all these extra teams, I don't think, add to it. But if you want, I'll indulge you. We'll go to a 16-team playoff, and we'll eliminate these cupcake games that these teams play during the year, like when Mercer plays Alabama. I don't understand what's going on here. What's wrong with people?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, that's fine. But in week 12, week 11, you shouldn't be playing Mercer or Longdale State or whatever.
Yeah, they've got to get rid of this. I mean, the Pac-12 for multiple years and, always done, well, in fact, for a long time, 9 games a year at conference. And whatever everyone wants to say about, it's the Pac-12. Well, point is, they weren't playing exactly a Mercer, a Citadel, or even the ACC, like a Citadel in week 10 or 11 of the college football season. They didn't have a bye week before rivalry week, like that wasn't a thing. That's where you would see a lot of these teams beat up on each other because they all of a sudden got tired and got beat up during the year. And, so they've got to do something to get rid of that. I understand Sankey is going to be like, well, no, that, this is how we do it, blah, blah, blah. He's always going to have, the SEC thing in forefront, it's his conference. So, of course. But
and the schedule for next season comes out Wednesday. So we will find out what date we play up at Rutgers next year.
Oh, my.
So we're going to have to have Mark pay our travel expenses, and Adam will take us out on the town, and show us a good time.
But wait, our next year, are we going to Rutgers or Rutgers going to Oregon?
We're going to Rutgers.
That sucks for Adam because I'm planning to go to an Oregon game next year.
All right, I'm going to make a deal with you guys. All right, number one, I'm going to that Rutgers game. So if you go, I will buy your tickets. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you 40 minutes up north to Angelo's. It's a little joint. It's been around for 100 years. You know, if you ever seen Goodfellas, that's where it's at. The best linguine with white clam sauce, the best filet mignon, the best chicken parmesan. And then, you know, we'll do a few other things. But we'll talk about that a little later. My point is this.
Like off the record.
You caught me. You know, Oregon, I got to give Oregon a lot of credit because I graduated from USC back in, 1997. And the way that Oregon has built its program and its facilities has been amazing. And it is now one of the most elite programs. And this year, perhaps the most elite in the country. The only problem I have with Oregon fans, and I will tell you this, and then you're just going to have to deal with it. I don't like Outson Stadium because my ears ring for hours every time I go there. I don't know why, because it's not like there's 100,000 people. It is it's like my ex-girlfriend screaming in my ear for an hour, and I just have to sit there and take it. Why is it so damn loud?
Well, if you want to know that, again, it's the construction. You can thank an Ohio State alum for building and constructing that.
Because it's so close to the field?
No, it's because the way they built it into the ground and kind of shell-shaped or whatever. But that was constructed and designed by an Ohio State alum. So you can thank them for that.
Yeah, well, it's Oregon. Change your stadium because I don't like it. And my ears rang there when I was there in 2007. No, was it? I forget what year it was.
Dennis Dixon, 2007?
What? I forget when we lost to it was. Look, I'm going to be 49 years old tomorrow. All right, I'm almost a half a century old. I can't be trusted anymore. But my point is that stadium was so impressively loud that I can't imagine anyone playing there. And Jason, listen, Fast Times at Ridgemont High was a good movie, but I am not Spicoli. All right, I'm more along the lines of My Cousin Vinny. Okay, you know, all right, Joe Pesci. That's more appropriate.
I was about to say, I was like, do you not hear the accent? Do you not hear that accent? I can't even, I'm not even going to try to mimic. It will be terrible. But, hey, in celebration tonight, have a blue moon. Let's go. 13-0, Big Ten champions. Year one. We own the Big Ten, motherfuckers. Oh,
with the
there's my two F-bombs for the night.
Guys, I should probably depart now because as my girlfriend who is coming back from Philadelphia and my friends say I'm good in small doses, and she's already mad at me and hasn't even gotten off the damn plane yet. So she'll be back here.
You and a girl from Philly? Oh, yeah, you need to go. You need to go.
Yeah, she's already mad at me, and she wouldn't tell me why. So, you know, I got to live in suspense like this, right? And age.
Yeah, you need to go.
Is she going to put you in the linguine sauce on the way home?
Oh, I'm just going to say yes, dear. And hopefully that'll diffuse it. But, no, guys, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate you listening to my nonsense. And congratulations to Oregon, and best of luck to you guys.
Thanks, Adam.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right.
Be safe. His girlfriend sounds psychotic. I was like him and then a girlfriend from Philly. Uh-oh. What could go wrong there? That's everyone in the chat. Cheers to a perfect.
Nobody in backstage?
No one. No one's called in. I told you the call-in show doesn't work for us. So,
what
but cheers.
Fuck?
Cheers to a perfect 13-0 for the team. Big Ten championship in the first year. Dan looks so happy holding up that trophy. That took me a couple extra minutes because I had to watch the trophy ceremony.
Yeah.
And he looks so fucking excited. Oh, there's 3. Okay, where's the swear jar? Are you collecting money, Spaz?
We'll have to ask Mark for it.
I don't care. I did call it out earlier about 7 minutes into the third quarter. I said maybe too early on Twitter. I said Tez is the MVP. And he was the MVP of this game. I mean, like 200 yards receiving. I was like, yeah. Definitely the MVP of this game.
I don't think Did Stewart even get any catches tonight?
I don't think so. Let me pull the stats really quickly here. I have them over here. Holden caught a couple. He had one drop and a deflection, but I don't think Stewart even. He might have caught one, maybe.
I know he had the one thrown to him on third down that was tried to go over the top, and
that was the most impressive part. Was that Tez Johnson 11 181, Sadiq 2 for 30, Ferguson 3 for 30, Holden 2 for 21. James 3 for 20, Whittington 1 for 1, Stewart nothing.
Yeah,
that was actually. That's actually impressive. It seemed like at first that Penn State really was like, "Nah, don't let Stewart get away," and they just totally forgot Tez Johnson existed.
Yeah. Everybody during the game was like, why does he keep ducking out of bounds? Why does he keep ducking out of bounds? It's like, you idiots, did you not forget he just had a separated shoulder like 6 weeks ago?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was.
That's why.
Yeah.
He didn't want to take a hit.
Yeah. He was getting out of bounds. He was getting down. He was like, I don't want to take any hits that are not necessary. And I was like, that's a smart move because he knows they're going for a deep run.
Mike, the answer to your question is, they're all over on Mark's goddamn channel because he's always got to run at the same goddamn time.
Mark's channel? You mean the main channel?
The main channel in the voice college.
No, I was football. Like, what do you mean Mark's channel?
He is the boss, so.
And Mark doesn't like me because I had trolled him on Twitter earlier. He was like, he said something about the game, and I was like, wait, where's Ohio State this weekend, Mark? Oh, watching the game, I guess. And he was like, no, sitting at home counting our trophies. I was like, oh, touche. Yeah. Like, oh, touche.
Well, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. There's a link in the comments if anybody wants to come up on panel and give us your take on the game, the season, whatever that may be. Feel free. I believe Ben can even post it again in the chat or down along.
It's pinned to the top of the chat.
Pinned to the top of the chat.
You just go to the top of the channel, or the top of the chat screen, and there's a streaming link. You can call him. We can talk about.
Oh no! What did Spencer do, Mark? You got to come tell us.
Shocking. Spencer would get someone heated. This is not shocking though. I think that this is just how it's gonna be because Oregon just came into the Big Ten year one and just spanked that ass. And people are pissed. Oregon now went through Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State in the same year. Again, shout out Penn State, though. A hell of a game. And again, just threw everything they had at us. Absolutely everything.
And all four first-year teams played in their conference title games. They went 2-1. They went 2-2, and one went to the final play of the game. The other one went to overtime. So, not bad.
Oh.
Why, thanks, Tim.
You're welcome, Tim, too, for that PSU kicker. Oh, thanks for the PSU kicker missing the game. Never mind.
Well,
I misread that.
You must have had added at 4 or 4.5, and so that kick kept it to 7.
And I don't want to also when we're saying credit Penn State for giving everything they had. Shout out Will Stein, not pulling out a ton of different tricks, but he pulled out a few different formations here and there in the beginning that really threw Penn State off for some touchdowns. So shout out Will Stein, but they're still holding back. He did not do anything super crazy in this game.
Thanks for coming, Adam. Mark.
I'm getting there. But yeah, shout out Will Stein for his play calling because I think he did fantastic in this game. He was calling a hell of a game
until that last drive. He pulled the retard calls again.
Again, I think they were still trying to keep generic play calling it sometimes. They're trusting their guys. So
you're in a 7-point game, 8-point game.
Yeah, but
and
you do
all
trust
you need is like
your guys.
one first down, and you're good. And he runs the most retarded ass run plays, and then it's the horrible pass throw at Stewart when he's blanketed. It's like, what is going on here?
Hey, every both sides of it, you can say there was some really bad play calls. There was some bad execution from Penn State too on a couple plays that had potentials, and they just were poorly executed, not followed through.
So. I see what Spencer did now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, Tim. You should have saw it. It was great. He had a nice big green duck shirt on.
Damn right he did. He's on a duck now. He's a duck now. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with these. That was weird. Like 3 first downs in a row. Like they could not hit the just simple screen passes.
And almost got one picked. Got blasted behind the line of the scrimmage on another one. It's like, hello, you've seen they have that play covered. Have all game. Why are you still doing it?
Yeah, well, some of them were just off timing, whether it was a receiver or Gabriel, or it was covered, like we saw too. There was 3 of those specifically where it's like, yeah, this is not working. This is the easy stuff. It was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird on some of those. It wasn't a nail biter a little bit, but not really. Oregon put themselves in great position to begin with, and that was the thing. Me and Spaz said in the pregame, Oregon goes up front. Penn State has to chase. And that's all Penn State did the whole game, was have to chase Oregon. That's why they went for that 2-point conversion they didn't get. And that left them in a bigger hole because they went, well, shit, now we got to do it again. So the whole point was Penn State the whole game was chasing Oregon. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely, Tim. 100%.
Well, I'm looking at Jason's on screen. I don't skip ahead of chats. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be Tennessee or Ohio State. Let me see what Tim says. Yeah, the SEC is not looking good. And those 2 offenses against each other, I know they're good defenses, but they just struggle. Both those offenses have huge flaws.
Yeah.
Beck is a liability. Ewers is a liability. I think both of them are just like, Jesus. Oops. Damn it. The chat just skipped on me there. Tony.
What's up, Tony?
No. They're the Nittany Lions. They're not even Lions. They're Nittany Lions. I don't even know what the hell that is, but they're a Nittany Lion. The fuck was that? Oh, fuck. Oh, that's 5 tonight. I'm trying to watch my language tonight, people. What is wrong with you all? Why is Adam still here? Go pick up your girlfriend. She's going to get pissed at you.
I can neither confirm nor deny the death threat. Daggers, maybe, but...
I've said shout out Penn State with their game planning tonight. They had nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose in this game.
No.
And neither did Oregon. Oregon could have lost this game. They'd been 5th seed. So whatever. They
Yeah.
had nothing to lose in this either, in the sense of the playoffs. So, so is it now the Nittany Trojans? Shout out UCF. Shout out UCF and Scott Frost hiring again. Shout out. Way to recycle that bitch. Love you, Scott Frost, but
well, at least somebody's giving him a job, I guess.
Yeah. No one else will. Well, USC stuck with Lincoln Riley, so
yeah, and has anybody heard any news on the severity of Carson Beck's injury yet?
Probably won't till tomorrow. I haven't been looking though, so I was kind of
There's people all over Twitter. People all over Twitter were like, "Well, they don't have a quarterback now, so I guess that means they got to go Georgia out." And it's like, well, if they don't win the game, maybe, but they won it, so you're not keeping them out now.
Yeesh. I don't trust announcers for anything.
Yeah,
stupid, but
yeah, he came in for one snap, Tony, the last snap of the game, because the quarterback that was in there, their backup, got blasted like back to 1993 and had to come out for a game because his helmet went flying 5 yards backfield. So he had to come out for a game, so they had to put him in. And his arm was just dragging. I don't think it's broken. I was in a space after that game for a little bit, right before the Oregon game started. And a couple Georgia players were saying that they heard it was his wrist, which is why he couldn't grip and throw the ball. But they didn't know severity yet.
Yeah, it could be something mild where it's like ice for a couple of days. It's good to go. Yeah, it's really hard to speculate on things. But yeah, shoulders and elbows, yeah, those won't heal. But obviously, no one wants to see a player get injured, especially this late in the season when they're doing what they can. They're giving it all. So we'll see.
Yeah. So where do we go from here? Well, we got 3 weeks off.
God damn right we do. I mean we said at the beginning of the season. We can talk about more on Wednesday for the live where we started looking at the seeding, so we can speculate against the two teams that we potentially will play against. Whoever wins. But
I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think Wednesday is going to be Wednesday will be a reflection of this year, because I haven't wanted to say it because I didn't want to jinx the team, because I feel like if you say something like this, you have a jinx. This does not just feel like a special goddamn year, though. I'm not saying national title year. I'm just saying just one of those years you've exercised and planted like a new leg, kind of like you're just like, we're the team now, because you had struggles. For the first time, you beat Boise State. 2 times in a row now, you beat Ohio State. You took out Michigan team on the road. Now you beat Penn State. And you won the Big Ten in your first year. This is just a special year.
Yeah. And because he was at the game tonight, you and I need to spend the next couple of days blowing up Spencer McLaughlin. We need to have Spencer on Wednesday night.
I can message him right now. I know he's going to be busy as shit, though. I'm going to message him right now. This is what I do in the background. I'm always working. Spaz does absolutely nothing, to be honest. He literally just sits on his ass and waits for me to do things. But I will. Where is Spence? Oh, there he is. Hey, Spence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm typing dispenser right now.
Yeah, I know he was there. I saw my boy Chris was there. Of course, I call him Bedazzled Duck. But of course, he was there because he was on the national broadcast like he always is. Because he just stands out, and cameras find him every game. Today he had his green and gold jacket on with his big golden duck hat. It was great. I believe he was sitting right next to Spencer too. Hey, I get guests, and I do some work.
Shut the hell up, Spaz. Shut the hell up, Spaz.
But Ben does all the technical shit because I don't know a lot of that.
Yes, this Spaz is like this during the live streams. 90% of the rest of his day is literally this. And Mrs. Spaz comes and like wipes his face, sticks his tongue back in his mouth, and like that's why she brings him dinner. It's like, here you go, and that has like his nighttime medicine in it, so he'll go back to sleep. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh,
Mrs. Spaz actually isn't his wife. He's actually in a retirement home, and he doesn't even know it. That's actually the nurse.
Right. I'm just in my corner with my little blankie back here behind me.
Oh,
and
man.
My clock.
Okay, we've got so goddamn off topic. Although we're only going to go 30 minutes, so now we've gone way over.
Yeah. Tony, you want to come up on panel for a minute before we wrap this up, or?
Yeah, no one likes to call in there.
Nobody ever wants to call. They always,
well,
where's
the
link, or where can I call in? And then when we do it, nobody fucking calls in.
Yeah, we have only done it twice, so yeah, it is what it is. Spaz, so final thoughts on this game, because well, again, Wednesday we're going to get into the hypothetical matchups, obviously, because it will just be no one's played a game yet.
We'll know the two teams that we're
potentially going to play against, depending on the seeding and stuff. And we'll get into the season review, kind of like a look back. But yeah, any final thoughts on this game specifically? Because it was a doozy. You won the score prediction because both of us underestimated each
Penn
team.
State. Yeah,
well, Penn State especially. Yeah, both of us underestimated Penn State completely.
So yeah, man, this was tough. A little tougher than I wanted, but our D-line's got to improve. We cannot play a Tennessee, a rematch with Ohio State, a Notre Dame. We can't play any of those kind of games right now because they would absolutely shred us based on what I saw today. So that's got to get cleaned up. But in the defense's defense, Penn State does run a lot of schemes, a lot of different sets, a lot of switches, a lot of moving parts in that offense. And it confused our guys quite a few times. You see guys going, oh, you go over there. And all of a sudden the ball snapped. And so they're like, 3 yards behind the defender coming at them.
Well, and again, shout out Penn State. They also ran tempo multiple times during this game, and that caught
which
the
is another
secondary and D-line
variation.
off. Yeah, they came to play. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I like how Tony says here, he's like, my score prediction was correct, but only for the halftime. That was my score prediction, I think, and that was Spaz was like 37-24. I was like, yeah, at halftime.
Yeah.
Because I text Spaz like 3 minutes before halftime. I was like, I think we are way off.
Yeah.
Of this game.
Yeah, you're 100% right, DeReal. Unfortunately, being the 1 seed is not the best position in the world, but this team is led by Dan Lanning and not Mario Cristobal. Therefore, they didn't plan for the loss. They planned to win it and run the gauntlet. 16-0 is what he's shooting at. And that showed today. Because they could have folded and let Penn State just come back and run over the top of them. They didn't.
Yeah, it got dicey for a little bit, but Oregon just put their foot down. Like I said, that's the one thing I can think about this team this year, and we'll talk about that on Wednesday. But in this game especially, hey, the defense wasn't quite there. I don't know if it's because they were preparing for Ohio State more, and then all of a sudden got kind of turned on their heads. Credit Penn State for throwing everything they had at the Oregon defense in every way possible. But when the defense is struggling, the offense picked up. And this is, again, supposed to be a very good Penn State defense. So while everyone can look at Oregon's defense and go, well, what the hell? What about Penn State's defense, who is supposed to be so good? Oregon just ran through them, and put up 45 points. So, again, that's a very good complementary team. One side struggles, the other side picks up the slack.
That's a tough question, Tony. Because if you... Yeah, I don't know. Because, you're going to play them because they'll be on the other side of the bracket. So, as the 2 seed. So, you wouldn't play them till... Yeah, probably potentially Atlanta. Yeah, and that's just not fair. That's just not fair. I hate that shit. It's like...
Well, but again, next year, people would say, well, it's not fair. It'll be like, say it'd be in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, and if Oregon was there, it's not fair.
Yeah. So, I mean, even though it is what it is, it kind of sucks. But, at the same time, it's like Oregon going to Indianapolis. Penn State's not far from there. Oregon has to travel.
Yeah.
Who cares? It doesn't, that's just how it is. So we're going to talk about that more on Wednesday. After in 12 hours, basically 12 hours from now, the initial rankings get released. The final rankings, anyways, for the playoff get released. So we will see the official seedings and
the first round of playoff matchups are announced.
Yep. And Oregon will have the first round seed and a bye, as obviously being the only undefeated team and conference title winner in the FBS. So that's not a drama situation. The drama is really like 9 through like 12, most likely.
Yeah. Where do you seed 8 through 12?
Yeah. Probably 8 through 12 is probably most of the drama. Yeah.
Because most of those didn't play. I think only one of those teams played.
And that would probably be an SMU team.
Yeah.
That will fall in there somewhere. Especially because they made it close. That's the big thing. If SMU had gone blown out, it would be out. But because they made it very close overtime, I think they'll be fine. So can you say it with me, Spaz? Na 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 na. Bye, Bama. Bye.
That's a shout out to Jackson. We know you're crying your bowl of Wheaties.
That was not what Bama fans wanted to see. Was a close game like that. They did not want to see that.
But in all fairness to one Jackson, I don't think Jackson cared if Bama made it this year.
And I think Jackson's one of the few people that said they don't deserve it.
Right,
to be honest.
exactly.
He was one of the few people that was actually like, no, I'm sorry. 3 losses and bad losses. Like at least 2 of those are pretty bad losses. 2 of the 3 are pretty bad losses. All right. Well, I got another live show to do. So, Spaz, where can people find you online if they want to stalk you?
They can find me.
Other hand. Come on.
Oh,
which hand is it? Which hand is it?
That one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. There you go.
Spazdrag. X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Rocky Classic on TikTok. And yeah, here on the Voice College Football Oregon channel with Ben every Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday during the season, every other week or so during the off season, and every post game. And from here on out, pregame about an hour before each kickoff, and then the post game after each show.
Damn right. Yeah, we'll be doing pre-games because every game forward is literally win or
you or die.
Winner, you're out. I mean, that's it from now on.
Win in advance, lose, and you're out.
Yep.
Season's over.
That's it from here on out. But yeah, Oregon gets a bye, the first round bye. I know that, so we don't have to worry about it. Oh shit, we have H&R picking stuff here.
Holy shit, haven't seen you in forever, Mr. Picking Stuff.
I know, right?
Glad to see you're still here with us.
But yes, shout out to to all the Ducks. Yep, shout out to them. Everyone that made it out to the game tonight. Obviously, would have loved him in there, but shout out to the Ducks again. Tez Johnson, MVP. The defense just doing enough. The offense picking the slack. Again, shout out to Penn State. Gave it all their all, but the Ducks finished 13-0. Perfect in the regular season and a Big Ten title game. I'm not going to complain about what the score was. The point is, it came out with the win, right?
Yep.
At the end of the day, that's what matters. Like Wisconsin, 16-13. You walked away with a win. That's all that damn matters.
Ohio State, 32-31.
All that damn matters.
You
got the win.
You won.
So, with that in mind, you can follow me on Exploring with Ben and Sam here on YouTube or Exploring with Ben on Twitter. I will be doing a live stream on my channel. So go over to Exploring with Ben and Sam for the live stream. Not college football related necessarily. In about 15-20 minutes, I'll be going live over there. So
we could piss the entire chat off and just talk college football.
Oh, we could. Yeah, most people will leave. It's so good.
Yeah.
You can run them off on my channel so quickly talking about college ball. Yeah, but make sure everyone please like, share, subscribe, and consider
hit that notification button.
That's right.
Because this way you'll never miss when we are going live.
That's right. Because we are live every Wednesday at 9:35 p.m. Central, 7:35 Pacific, and maybe some bonus days that come up randomly due to guest scheduling. So important. Hit the notification bell. Bass.
Take us out, Pop-Tart.
No, you can also find us on the Sunday night show that I run. Yeah. College football after dark on the main channel. Sunday nights, 9:35 p.m. Central. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Spaz, one more time.
Take us out, Pop-Tart.